Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's DJ. I am also a type 1 diabetic. I was diagnosed December 23, 2011. So Merry Christmas to me. This year will be going on 11 years. And in 2023, I will be making my best attempt at through hiking the Appalachian Trail. So I invite you to come along on that journey as I journey to, from, and on the trail, and my experience with type 1 throughout it all. I just finished a 5-mile ruck. I've been following a 12-week cycle rucking program, and I just finished the last week in that cycle, so I figured it would be a good time to maybe stop and talk about training for a long distance through hike as a diabetic, and how I'm managing diabetes, how I'll manage it on trail, how I'm kind of dealing with it during my training, what I'm doing for physical training. So I might touch a little bit on how I'm training for the trail next year, what I'm doing in my physical training for the trail next year, and kind of touch base at the end a little bit how diabetes works into that and how I'm dealing with that throughout. So I found a nice little tree here in the woods, just enjoying the beautiful day that Ohio's given us. Man, it was perfect to be out this morning hiking. It was like 41, 44 here in the woods. To me, that's great. It was fantastic. Just gonna talk with you guys, maybe eat a little bit of breakfast. So I talked about it in the last video as far as training for a long distance trail. What's the best way to train for a long distance trail? Hike. Hikers hike. And I think that's true no matter who you are. No matter if you're a diabetic or not, hikers hike. The best way to train is to go out and hike. Go out and hike in different elements: sunny, cloudy, rainy, snowy, miserable. Go out and hike. Test your gear. Take your backpack. Load it up with all the gear that you think you're going to be carrying on whatever trail you're going to, and go out and hike. Set up your tent. Set it up in the rain. Set it up in the sun. If you've got a tent that has a rain fly that can be set up separate, go set up that rain fly separate from the tent. Just get used to all those different elements. Camp outside as much as you can. Camp out in your backyard if you have to. And you're like, well, DJ, I don't have any place to go out and hike. I don't have any place to set up my tent. If you have, I mean, you could set it up in your living room if you had to, or go to a public park, set it up there. Obviously you probably can't spend the night there. Well, you probably can if you don't get caught. So one thing I've done is I've gone to my local high school, which is like 2 miles down the road. And anyone can run on the track by the football field, and you have access to that, and you can load up your pack and you can go do like max effort up and downs on the bleachers. Like just climbing the bleachers up and down until you're like completely whipped. I don't know. To me, I feel like doing some of those things is more than nothing. Any type of training like that is better than doing absolutely nothing. But that's just me. Go hike. So as far as physical training goes, I'm a street parking member. And for all the street parking members, they know what street parking is, but everyone else is like, what's street parking? You park in the street? Well, street parking is an online fitness program, and they are an authentic community of real people, and their goal is designed around providing people the tools needed to take control of their fitness. And I've been a member for 5+ years. I could say it's CrossFit style programming, but that wouldn't do it justice. There's so many extra programs in with the daily programming. So yeah, there's CrossFit style workouts as like the daily programming, but it's so much more than that. It goes so much beyond CrossFit, and I think anyone can actually kind of find something that they'd be interested in. And for the price, it's one of the best programs out there, I feel, for what you get in the price. So I've been doing CrossFit style training since pretty around the same time that I was diagnosed as a diabetic. So I was kind of in that stage of like trying to figure out my diabetes right around the same time as trying to figure out like working out. So in a typical week, I will do 3 daily workouts, like high intensity workouts, and then I'll add in numerous extra programs into that. I try to ruck twice a week. I follow a deadlift program, which is just a cycle program. You go until you like max out, and then you drop weight and you can kind of start over. So I've been doing the deadlift program. I typically do 1 strength day, so I'll do the deadlift program. I'll do a squat. I'm right now doing the 20 rep squat, and I'm on back squat. I'll cycle between back squat and front squat, and that is you pretty much just squat heavy, 20 reps unbroken. And as soon as you fail, you can drop and you can go back through it. So I'll typically do back squat until I max out, and then I'll try to hit a new 1 rep max back squat. And then the next week I'll start with front squat, and I'll just cycle that. I do that once a week along with the deadlift program on a strength day. And then I do endurance once a week, a dedicated endurance workout. And those workouts can typically be either done running, on a rower, or on a bike. I typically do bike or rower because I hate running. But those are longer endurance sessions, at least a half hour. Most of them are like 45 minutes to an hour long. And that's good. I really have enjoyed that. I've not missed a week in like, I think I've done like 160 plus unbroken weeks of endurance now. It's probably more than that, but it's just one of those things I've integrated into my daily workouts. And then if there's any time for anything else, I'll just pick and kind of choose from numerous programs. I'll do some strength training if I can, even with just dumbbells. One of the things I've started doing that I've really enjoyed as like a finisher at the end of workouts is I'll do some Tabatas, where I'll do like farmer's carries, Tabata of farmer's carries, Tabata of farmer step-ups, where you're just holding a pair of dumbbells in the farmer's carry hold position and doing like step-ups, weighted step-ups, things like that I've kind of added in. So there's not really much that changes off of that compared to whether I'm training specifically for the trail next year or just training normally in real life. That's typically what I do for physical training. Is I follow the street parking programming. There's so much available there. I never get bored with it. I love odd object stuff. So I do a lot of odd object stuff with sled pushes and pulls, and I've got a tire that I'll flip, all that kind of stuff. I mean, the possibilities are endless there. That's what my physical training looks like right now. And as far as diabetes goes and how that plays into it, each day, anyone that's diabetic, this, there's no 2 days that are the same. Your blood sugar will react differently day to day, and it's based off of sleep and stress. And, there's many types of stress, work-related stress and relationship issue stress and, not sleeping good stress, and your blood sugar's all whack stress, So I just have come to a point where each day is a new day and each day is a learning day for something new. And so anytime that I'm either working out, anytime I'm out rucking, or anytime I'm in the woods, I will use it as kind of a learning day based around what my diabetes is telling me. So I wear a continuous glucose monitor. I also have a pump. I have the Omnipod pump. Currently I'm wearing the Freestyle Libre 2 continuous glucose monitor system. I also have the Dexcom G6. I plan to, as of now, next year I plan to hike with the Dexcom G6. But the Freestyle to me is just so much more affordable, and it's so much easier for me to access. So I've been using that kind of on the daily. But either way, it gives you data that you can look at. So When I'm heading out, I will test what my blood sugar is before, during, and kind of after, and kind of see what that's doing. Physical workouts for me are like my de-stressor, and it's how I like deal with the stresses that come from daily managing type 1 diabetes, just day in and day out. I've just gotten to a point where I just train through like whatever my blood sugar is telling me. It is very rare that I will have like either a super low blood sugar or a super high blood sugar and I won't work out. Like I will find a way to get a workout in. It might look different than what in my mind I feel like that workout should look like, but it's some form of movement. And I'm training that mental toughness in that. Like my mind is telling me I want to quit, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm finding a way to still get movement in. But it's a constant like learning process, and it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, that's for sure. But it's possible. You know, I think a continuous glucose monitor is crucial. An insulin pump, like I couldn't live without mine. I know there's certain people that absolutely crush their blood sugar and they've never used an insulin pump, but they have the continuous glucose monitor. So I feel like that would be the one thing to get a hold of if you don't have in your management now is some form of glucose monitor. That for me was life-changing because I could see the trends and I could see what my blood sugar was doing in real time. And when I was like working out and kind of like learning, you know, how do I even work out and like what does it do with my blood sugar? Like how do I know how much insulin to give myself so I can crush this workout? That continuous glucose monitor was crucial to that, and it still is very crucial to that. I'm looking at that data and I'm using that to kind of train and to make good choices. So I know not everyone has access to that, and that's the unfortunate thing. But the Freestyle Libre, at least for me, is really, really affordable. And so that's why I've been using it so much. And hopefully there's some way that you can get on that if you're not. But that has played a big role in training, whether it's physical training or whether it's training and planning for the trail next year. Just use every opportunity you have to learn your body's trends and tendencies around like what your blood sugars do. So whether that's training physically in exercise, or you're hiking, or you're you know, setting up your gear and stuff like that, like if you get a certain like blood sugar response, like in, let's say you're setting up your tent, just kind of like pay attention to like what your blood sugar does around that. Or you have a high blood sugar and then you go out and you hike like 1,000 feet of elevation and you eat certain things. Like just take notes of like what your blood sugar does, and just like learn that and kind of put that in the back of your mind so that like when you face that again, you're going to be able to make a better decision on like how to treat that blood sugar, or like, oh, I need to eat something before my blood sugar gets to this point, because if I hit this amount of elevation or something like that, you know, it's going to come crashing down. Just use all those opportunities, just day in and day out, that you're given to just learn your tendencies, and slowly but surely, I think you'll have more confidence, and you'll be able to make better decisions. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And I hope you folks have an amazing rest of your day. Talk to you guys later.